everyone, welcome to
Copyright Movie Show.
And today, excuse me.
Jeez, man.
Today, the trio is back
We are back.
for this little montage of videos. But today, we're going to start with
The Last Jedi.
spoiler review. Spoilers.
Now,
Boom.
this movie is controversial, to say the least.
Very controversial. Let's start off with where this started for us. When we looked at the Rotten Tomato score. Rotten Tomato score was what? 93?
Yep, critics love it.
Audience score is now, I think, in the 50s. A little less than that now, because it was like a 58.
It is critically the second highest viewed critic score behind Empire Strikes Back by a point. But audience score, it is the lowest of all
Star
the Star Wars movies.
And
yes,
if you watch the movie,
lower than the Phantom Menace.
More than the Phantom Menace.
Which is some bullshit.
To be granted, let's just get this out of the way. In our opinions, it's better than the Phantom Menace.
Oh, very
It's
much
better than that entire prequel.
It's also better than the first half of Attack of the Clones.
It's better than Attack of the Clones.
Better than Attack of the Clones. Not. I would argue not as good as Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
Wouldn't argue.
That's regarded as like the best.
I wouldn't
I don't
say it
know,
was
man.
as good as
Behind
Revenge of the
Empire.
Sith. But
Any movie with
let's get off that.
Portman and him in it.
this even is a divided. I wouldn't say divided us to a degree.
Ah.
Me and Deshaun watched it. We liked
Dude,
it,
it
but then we
divided
had but then we had some time to soak on it, and then we were like, maybe this wasn't as good as we said it was, because we just stopped and thought about it, and we were like,
I still like it.
damn.
Well, the thing is,
So let's before we get off on a whole thing, let's just start off with why we say this. Let's try to be clear and focused.
Okay.
Big reason number one for me anyway is that the director, apparently to us, this is because we said this. It seems like he didn't look at The Force Awakens. It seems like he just didn't look at it and didn't go from there.
if you didn't know, there's two different directors.
There's two different directors.
JJ worked on The Force Awakens, and the new guy, what was his name?
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah,
Ryan Johnson worked on The Last
and
Jedi.
JJ's coming back to work on the next one.
Which is good.
Which I'm like, is JJ gonna come back and be like, what did you do? What did you do?
No,
But
JJ
basically, this was
JJ
like.
worked on it with this on him with it.
But
no, apparently he didn't because
they're two separate movies.
Yeah, he just pitched his pitch for the new one just yesterday.
Codename Black Diamond.
Something I can't remember. He just pitched it
Which
just
apparently
yesterday.
it's a reference apparently to Vader's castle in Mustafar.
Yeah. So.
Who knows?
Who knows?
JJ loves his nostalgia.
But anyway.
This guy must hate it then.
This guy must hate it because apparently.
If JJ loves nostalgia, this guy must hate it.
Yeah, I know. That's a big problem too. You can see the clear difference on who did it. And to be honest though, if you're handing something off to someone to do, you shouldn't just take what they did and just go, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna do whatever I want with it.
It kind of feel like
literally this felt like that's
another
big problem with
JJ
me.
set this stuff up.
Literally
He
what
was
he
just
did.
like, I don't care, JJ, what you did.
I'm doing it my way or the highway, and that's what happened. And there's a lot of scenes. I can count maybe 6, 7 scenes of there's scenes where it seems like the director went like this to the fans. It just seems like that.
It's spoilers.
This is spoilers, so we're gonna talk about it.
There's only one scene I felt did that.
Which was what?
Snoke.
Okay, that was one of my scenes too. But there's another one.
That's like the only
Leia
one I can
using
think
her force powers to save herself in the void of space, like that, without any prior training, without any references to be trained, or without anything else, and they never bring it up.
Yeah,
again.
you never the problem is, I wish they would have teased it a little bit, had her do because I feel like it was just no setup for it.
Yeah.
Like if they had set it up a little bit with like she moved something early on in the movie, or you saw her do something, and be like, okay, you know what? All right, but it was nothing. It's just out of the blue.
Yeah, like I said,
in Force Awakens, she did feel Han's death.
Yeah, but
she felt that's all she could ever do.
But that's always been the extent of her.
She could
force
feel
ability, is feeling others. Or
that's
listening.
fine.
She could probably do more.
Well, like I said, they never trained her. They never showed her being trained.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just
but also another big problem for me was, anyways, that Rey never got the training we were hoping for, because in The Empire Strikes Back, Yoda and Luke trained. This one, they met, but they never trained her. The only time she got even the most lick of training was when Luke was telling her to, stretch out with the Force, and she felt that dark hole in the on the island. That was about it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, towards the end of the movie, she could pick up a shit ton of rocks without any prior training at all. But it's already been established that she can mind control people without any training, so whatever.
Though I will admit,
which we did agree isn't. it shouldn't have gone that way, but it's not too far away
I'm
from
not
what's
gonna lie.
possible.
I was a lot disappointed with the relationship between Luke and Rey because I thought it was gonna be this like thing that you're gonna be talking about like this is like this. I mean, granted they did it before, but I thought it was gonna be like a Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid kind of thing going on here. Where like Miyagi's this salty guy, doesn't really want to teach her, but eventually he comes around and they have this interesting. They didn't really have a relationship.
Nope.
He just said, "Don't do it." And she said, "Screw you," and ran off. That's
literally about it.
What happened.
The only lightsaber training she got was swinging it around and cutting a rock in half.
And she was just swinging. And by the way she was swinging that lightsaber around like a
Pretty
chicken
clumsy.
with her head cut off. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Very, very clumsy with a lightsaber. Not elegant at all. It kind of like one thing.
Another scene where I will say was a direct like kind of F you to the fans is when The Force Awakens, it ended on this epic shot of her hand and Luke this lightsaber, is building this up, and he just slings it.
That was a pretty big fuck you to the fans.
I thought that was hilarious.
At first I did, but then I was just like, so that shot has no meaning whatsoever anymore to me, because like I know that it's just a joke now. I was just like, okay.
See,
like,
if they would have built it up as a joke in the first movie, fine, funny, I get it.
it was just so like.
But the last 2 minutes with this epic the music was playing and Rey was there and she was so happy.
That's the problem.
And then
They
Luke
built
was
it up
there.
so heavy for them to just
They
do
built it
that,
up so
and I was
heavy
like-
for them just to do that. I was like, okay,
It's that unexpected comedy.
but it's not that funny. It's just,
I thought it was pretty
it was a
funny.
big
Well,
middle
I
finger.
will say that's one thing this movie does, like, because it can't decide what it wants to be.
It can't. It
'Cause
really
it
can't.
tries to be super serious, and then it like drops these.
And then just drops these jokes.
Like
It's
I'll
an
give
action
this.
comedy.
I'll give this. Thor Ragnarok for all these jokes. It never tried to veer from what it is. It was what it is. It was funny through and through. But this tries to be like dark,
Funny and
super dark, like
dark.
and then out of the blue do comedy. I'm just like, dude, you can't have your cake and eat it too, man. You gotta pick what side you want here. If you want to make it dark and serious, make it dark and serious and have sprinkles of jokes. But you can't have stupid jokes in a super dark and serious movie like this because because it's like they tried to have their cake and eat it too with this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
This is me. I love funny things. I'm cool with that. I'm a Marvel guy.
Yeah,
You
the
know
other
this.
big middle finger I could say was Finn's sacrifice, or supposedly sacrifice.
Honestly?
I honestly
That was
thought-
pretty big to me.
I honestly thought he was gonna do it.
I honestly think that
He
would've
was. If that fucking
They-
token Asian chick didn't just come out and
You got hate on Rose.
I will say they
Dude,
did take
she's a
away
token
Finn.
Asian
They did
chick.
take away Finn's character arc, basically.
They really did.
Because that was his arc. That could have been a great arc. He started off selfish, and in the end, he's willing to sacrifice himself
For the
rebel.
good of the
But
cause.
No!
that's another thing this movie does wrong too. No one evolves except for two characters.
Yeah, I remember yourself was like, I think only two characters actually.
Luke evolves throughout
No,
the movie.
Three
Well,
characters. Luke evolves. Kylo evolves, and
I did like Kylo's development.
Poe kind of evolves because
His was more of a shift, not really evolve.
Well, yeah,
this is more of a character shift than it wasn't evolve. But semantics.
Poe's just realized, oh yeah, you can't win all the time. Maybe we should run away.
he came to a realization. He didn't really have an arc to say.
Permission to get an next
Luke
one,
had
blow
an
stuff
arc.
up.
Luke had an
I
arc,
love that.
and Kylo had an arc to an extent. I wouldn't say his was as big as Luke's, but it was there.
I did really
can
like
see
his
it.
development though.
But
yeah.
and I did like how Kylo was like, you know what? Let's just screw everything. Let's just do our own
By the way,
thing.
what
I
happened-
did like that.
What happens to the Knights of Ren?
Knights of
No,
Ren are
see,
gone too.
No, I think I know where they are.
Oh, it's not the Rogue One crew
They've
because
got-
they're all dead.
No, they're Luke's students. But think about it. If they weren't here and they weren't the guards, they must be on Mustafar.
Doing what though?
Why would he just leave?
Why
his
would Snoke
hired-
just leave these untapped Jedi just alone on them, like all by themselves? That doesn't make any sense.
Unless
Why would Snoke
unless-
only care about Kylo? It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, it's the thing. Snoke's his master, but I guess he's the master to the Knights of Ren, maybe.
Wouldn't you? I feel like you'd see them more too.
Or
Honestly,
hear
I think,
of them.
I think they're being saved.
I don't know, but
Never even mentioned
I
him.
will say too. Oh my god, the whole Rey's parents thing.
That was a big fuck you to the fans.
I will say.
Okay,
that
hold
was
on.
so
I want to comment on this.
disappointing.
I
That
want
was
to comment
disappointing
on
as
this.
shit.
I was like, oh.
I want to comment on this because
So flat.
I don't feel like anyone can be pleased because okay, she's not a Skywalker, not a Kenobi, not a Solo, but she's nobody and people have a problem with
I
that.
didn't need her to. Honestly,
I didn't need her
personally,
to be epic. I just
I
needed her
didn't
to
need-
make sense.
I didn't.
She's a nobody, that's the
I
thing.
didn't need her to be a solo or anything.
Anakin was a
But it
nobody.
could have been sunk.
Anakin was a force baby.
He was a force baby. That's intriguing off the bat. It's like you're a force baby. What the hell? What does that mean? What
Yeah,
does that
but
mean?
it's the
But
thing,
she's just
just
some
of the
chick.
Force.
She was literally the daughter of druggies.
I hope
Like-
he was lying. hope
That's
JJ
just
comes
not-
in. I hope JJ comes in and fixes
Well, everyone
this
thinks
shit,
Kylo
dude.
might be lying.
I hope JJ
Now,
comes
see,
in
we
and
both
fixes
said
shit.
this, is that, well, when the first Battlefront came out...
At least if she was a Skywalker or something, there's that explanation of why she's so powerful. Because she's just a nope.
Yeah, but
she's
then-
just some
yeah, but
random.
then
She's
you're
just
right.
some son,
It's
she's
like-
just some daughter of junkies, and she can just do all this. She's like, no,
Naturally gifted Force students.
dude. Like I said, the Force throughout the books and the movies has always been this sort of progression of the more you learn and the longer you've been around, the better you get.
You know, to me personally, her parents didn't even have to be Skywalkers, and they could have been like people who worked at the temple,
That's
and
what
then
I
they
mean.
ran off, and then
That would have been intriguing.
I would have been
That's
cool
a-
with that.
That's a theory I ran by you.
I would have been cool with that if they were just people who worked at the temple and they escaped and they were like, we gotta hide our
Or
daughter.
their parents were like on both the sides
But
of the
just for
war
them
or
to
whatever.
be
Anything
but Just
else.
for them to be just that,
Junkies.
it's just like dude,
junkies that sold her for their next high.
In my personal opinion, it was
Everyone thought the game Battlefront 2 was hinting towards her being Iden Versio.
Now, see, if that was the thing too,
No.
I would have been cool with that.
I know, me too. I was like,
didn't.
that would be awesome.
But they didn't do
They
any
didn't
of
have
that.
to be Skywalker. She didn't have to be a Solo. She didn't. But if she had something, it had to be something because I feel like they just built it up too.
They
built
did.
it up to just be like, well, it's nothing. It's like you think like, but they did it like they're clever. Like, oh, see, it's nothing. You didn't see that coming. I'm like, man, I didn't come here to be cock teased, man.
Well,
That's another big
This ain't
middle.
a script club, man.
Well, but you also gotta, like I will say this, even though it's random, you can still respect the fact that she is her own character, not a attachment to somebody from the original trilogy.
She never
Like
grows.
I said, I didn't need her to be attached to someone from the original trilogy, but something, you know, man.
Like, I'm just saying,
just
like,
to give me nothing.
It feels like no one can be pleased.
I would have been pleased if they
For-
would
if
have just
something.
Been, if they would have just been two people who worked at the temple or something who ran away, like something, dude, anything. Maybe make them new characters who work in this new trilogy, something, anything. But
Maybe.
just to make it nothing.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
blatant,
I guess
blatant
that's
fuck
true
you.
because I mean, even before it was erased, I mean, Galen Merrick, aka Starkiller, was the son of a Jedi.
There you have it.
Give it something, man.
He's probably arguably the strongest Force user in existence.
It almost makes Kylo seem even more interesting than her now, honestly.
Yeah. That's another thing. Rey never truly evolved as a character. Not really.
She's in the same spot
That she
started
was
at,
when she started.
which is actually
Never
one of the
changed.
biggest problems with this movie, and this is my only like legit like I have no qualms and I'm kind of upset with it. The movie technically goes nowhere. They're in the same spot they were that they began at, except they have less.
The
people.
plot doesn't move forward.
It's very much
barely
about,
moves forward an
It's
inch.
very much about failure.
But people keep talking about that like that's some big concept in Star Wars. Hello, the prequels were all about them losing. Empire Strikes Back was about them losing. I mean, it's not some magical concept no one's ever done before. They've lost before.
Really, only Episode 3 was about losing.
I mean, but it still was about losing. And then Empire Strikes Back is all about them losing. Han getting frozen in carbonite. Like, dude, it's all, so it's not some wild concept them losing.
The middle of a trilogy is supposed to continue the story. It's not supposed to just freeze in midair.
I feel like this literally froze the plot. The plot of the whole thing never moved an inch.
Nope.
It's in the same spot. Rey is now no more smarter than she was when she started.
And you know another problem with this movie is that you and I both agree on is that they never explain anything. They never explain really anything. They never explain why the First Order hasn't taken this big hit. Because when Starkiller Base went up in the first movie, they made it seem like it was this big deal, this big thing. The First Order is done and finished. Nope. Apparently they have control over the galaxy, or they never say that either. So you have to kind of make up your own shit in your
I
head.
think in The Force Awakens, they did establish that the First Order was basically getting out there.
Yeah, but they blew up their big weapon.
They blew up their big weapon and base.
They were trying to
see. Empire Strikes Back. I told you this. Empire Strikes Back did this better because it was like, see, you said that, and then I was like, no. See, the Empire was a galactic spanning empire. The First Order seemed like it was just like what, just want that world. It didn't expand on it. It didn't
the
like.
First
It
Order is
didn't.
just
It
the
didn't
remnants of the
solidify
Empire.
the First
Brought
Order
back up.
as this galactic threat. In the Empire Strikes Back, the Empire was a galactic empire.
They
The
are
Death
the
Star
Empire.
wasn't their only weapon.
That's
And
the
this
thing.
one, the Star Killer base, that was all they had.
But I feel like in Force Awakens, they kind of built it up as Starkiller bases. They're holding basically everyone at ransom, being like, you're with us, or we're going to use this thing on you. But they
Yeah.
blew it up. So it's like, what are you holding people at ransom for?
What are you holding people
Shouldn't
at ransom
the
for
rebels
now?
have gotten bigger once they blew that up?
I mean,
how are they so small?
I mean, it's because they destroyed the New Republic and all the forces they had there.
But they said they had allies in this movie. So
Yeah, the Allies are going to be there now, I think.
well, remember they put that call out. No one answered. supposedly no one answered.
By
But
the way, another kind of it wasn't an FU, but it was kind of left me like I literally went from this to that, and Blitz Luke showing up with the lightsaber and fighting. First of all, I was like, "Where's his green lightsaber?" I should have knew it was fake when he didn't have the green lightsaber. Where's his green lightsaber? He's got the blue one. Okay, who cares? Luke's back.
I did like that scene.
And then he disappeared, and it was a fake, and I was like,
it was natural projection.
why do I feel like I just got faked out?
You got
Yeah,
Why
trolled.
do I feel like someone was looking at me like, you want this, don't you? I know you want to see this.
Nope.
It's not really
Well,
happening.
because here's the thing.
Ugh.
Because here's the thing with that. See, I agree with you. That would have been awesome. But at the same time, one, if he did strike down Luke, it would have sent him way too far over the edge. He wouldn't be. And on top of, he's
I
already.
mean, he was going to strike down Luke.
And not only that,
Technically did.
that kind of.
The wrong one died in this movie, what I'm saying.
But-
Leia should have died, Luke should have lived. I want to get to see Mark Hamill one time, and he was only like in 20 minutes of screen time.
But the other thing.
That's why he was upset and all the
Oh yeah,
other
Mark
folks.
Hamill.
He is not happy.
He is not liking this movie.
No, I think like his main problem was with what they did with Luke.
Yeah, he didn't like
That's
it.
the
A lot
biggest
of people,
problem
a lot
he
of people
has.
didn't like it either. And he was like, "This is not what Luke would do, dude. Luke would never do that." Which is another thing. Luke would never think about killing a kid.
Nope. Even how
This is a man who went out of his way for a man who murdered. Oh, wait, what? Can we say millions? How many people did Darth Vader kill?
a lot.
Thousands.
Thousands
Millions,
of people.
thousands.
And Luke went out of his way for
Galactic
him.
Empire.
This is your nephew that you've seen since a boy, and you're thinking about killing him? Really?
That's because he didn't want another Vader, I think.
Luke would never give up on
If
him.
Mark Hamill himself says Luke would never do that, I'm gonna take
Luke
him at his
would
word.
I know.
Luke would never
I'm
give
saying
up
what the
on
story wanted. I'm not denying what Mark Hamill.
Like I
wanted.
said, this
For what
movie.
it's worth, Lucas didn't agree with a lot of those decisions either. I mean, basically, Lucas got to just sit in the back and be like, "But you should
You shouldn't do
sit
that.
down, Lucas. You signed it over to us." Fuck.
He said you should have given this movie to Lucas.
Well,
Not
give it
entirely
to-
Lucas.
No, he said they should have listened to his input.
Yeah, definitely. You know what's funny? A lot of
I
people
didn't-
don't. A
I
lot of
didn't
people
believe
don't
it.
know that. A lot of people don't know this. But when Lucas made the original trilogy, he wasn't the big guy behind
He
it.
didn't direct it.
He was the producer.
Yeah, he's-
he had like half the say, and
the guy
but the
behind it.
director had the rest of the power over the movie. The only reason why the prequels suck so much because he had full control.
Wait, so who's the guy who did the original trilogy?
I don't remember his name. But no, let's think. Lucas was the producer and he was the financier. The guy who he got a whole different director and they worked and they were partners. They worked together. And you know what? They both had both their visions and they just took them together. That was the original trilogy. The prequel trilogy was
That's
all
what it
Lucas.
yeah, that's what it should be.
That's what it should have been. Or at least you should have had him in the room
And
while writing it.
These new ones,
At least.
like, and the new ones that they're coming out with are more, as people have pointed out, a little bit more corporate because they're dealing with Disney.
They're dealing
It's
with Disney.
It's not as independent as it
What about
used to
Fox?
be. They're dealing with Disney, and Disney's like, okay, you gotta do this. Like that's why if you're wondering why the Force Awakens seems so nostalgic and kind of, it's because Disney was like, yeah, don't do that crap.
It wasn't bad. It
Let's
was just
do
really,
this again.
It wasn't bad. It was just really safe.
Yeah, they just
Very
like,
safe.
They're like, hey, it worked. They got $2 billion. They got damn near $2 billion off of it. So who am I to say they're doing it
And
wrong?
this movie, he's probably going to get $1 billion.
Yeah, this movie just had the second highest opening weekend of all time, $220 million in the U.S.
That's a lot.
But
$400-something million opening weekend.
continuing, any more scenes?
Yeah, well, there's just a lot of scenes there, but one, well,
Oh, by the
I'm
way,
not going to go off and say token characters,
the whole
but
casino,
saying,
the whole
you better watch
there's
casino,
only one.
the whole casino scene was like filler. It was like a filler.
Oh, it was
episode in
filler.
anime.
No,
I remember somebody
nothing
said
That
that.
place is awesome.
They were like, this is like a filler episode in an anime because none of it,
It is.
matters. None of
None
it
of the
matters.
casino never mattered.
None of it even mattered. It didn't. Nothing happened actually. It was like a filler episode in an anime. You're just like,
And also, it
They
was
did that with Force Children.
it was an excuse to find the hacker,
that was
which
so random.
they found in a jail cell.
Oh yeah, they found the guy.
You know, another thing this movie tried to be gray, but it failed miserably.
Well, no, because they were just so blunt about it.
They were so they were
They weren't
very
like,
blunt.
Like that whole like I remember someone made a joke about this. A reviewer was like, "Dude, they make like that Rose chick says they're abusing animals and child slavery," and like you're like, and then he looks across and sees exactly that. It's like, dude, that's a little on the nose for me, man. Like if he saw it like individually, like over time, and he's there, but this was like right there.
Or it's like the hacker who got paid by the First Order to betray them. Like they tried to. It's like, oh, it's a business is business. You can't pick and choose.
By
It's
the
like-
way,
they also did the whole TIE fighter and X-wing thing where he showed them that they made weapons for both sides.
Who's the guy who says it's a trap?
Admiral Akbar, he died.
Yeah, he died. No one cared.
No one cared.
I knew he
They
died.
they didn't even let him. I remember somebody was making fun of him. He was like, Admiral, you should have knew it was a trap. That's your thing.
I thought, no, he might have been, he's like,
And there was that, and there was that purple-haired chick admiral who sucked at her job.
By the way, I didn't get.
She did have a plan, though. She did have a plan.
But she should
They
have
did-
told him.
She should have told someone.
Do you realize that 40 minutes of this movie was wasted just because she didn't tell him the plan?
Yep.
If she tells Poe the plan, everything goes off without a hitch.
This is basically what's happening the whole movie, just kind of flying.
Yep.
Everything goes off without a hitch. if
Now
she
you
tells
see why
Poe
we say the
plan.
plot barely moves forward an inch, because
They just
Because
scratched
the
it.
ship's barely moving forward.
because the ships are barely moving forward an inch.
They literally stretched this movie out to 2 hours and like what was it, 33 minutes or something like that. I'm like, dude, you could have took 30 minutes off this movie because 30
You could have
minutes
taken
of the
probably
movie
more than that.
was
Probably more than
dedicated to
that.
something that didn't even have to be there.
Although, I will say the movie did do this, which I didn't expect, just the almost complete annihilation of the rebellion. Resistance.
Almost. But
Like,
see, it's
They lost a
hope.
lot of people.
They
got so
really
much
did that
hope.
whole hope thing too hard.
There's so much
Really
hope
did.
left after Luke died, motherfucker. I waited 2 years to see him again, and this is what I get.
Pretty much. That's why it's a big.
Though I will
letdown.
say, A for getting the puppet Yoda again.
That was pretty good.
I
They got
A
the
for
puppet
that.
again.
A for that.
I was honestly expecting Revenge of the Sith Yoda.
I knew they were
Yeah.
gonna do the puppet because I was like, they're gonna do something cool with the puppet. They could have, granted, that looked like the exact same puppet. They could have made a new puppet. Because
Make it
that
look
one
a
looked
little-
old. And I
Yeah,
was
it
like,
really did.
That one looked so dated. And I was like, it's cool seeing it, but I was like, maybe you could have got a new puppet. But cool.
I was telling Seth, he freaking smited the tree. Just,
By the way, that scene with freaking
Granted, though,
the scene
Force
with-
users can do stuff like that, so that's not out of the realm of possibility. Being trapped in the void and coming back is out of the realm of
The
possibility.
scene with Chewbacca eating
That's
the
another thing,
bird
too.
in front of the bird.
The
That was
poor
pretty.
little-
That,
the
I think
porg.
the porg. That was pretty funny because he was just sitting there with cooked it, and he's just looking. I just look at him like, he's like, what? You can't hear what he's saying because he's obviously Chewbacca, but you're just looking at him. Nah,
He did feel kind of bad about it.
kind of for like 2 seconds.
He thought about it
2
to
seconds.
throw
and he
it
was
away.
like, I'm hungry.
I'm
damn.
hungry, damn
To
it.
be honest, I want one. They're cute as shit.
By the way, they let him nest inside their ship. Like, what the hell?
I would do it.
They had babies that quick. I, was
I know,
like, damn,
they're
they're like
crawling
rabbit.
all
They're like
across the
freaking
board.
rabbits.
Well, to be fair, there were multiple of them, so they might not be babies.
Ew, did you see that scene where Luke was like
Milking that weird
I was
thing?
like, ugh.
The face,
That was another
I
scene
think it's
that
supposed
was.
to be an elephant seal kind of thing.
You know, that whole montage of him doing all that shit was filler too. That didn't need to happen.
I'm not gonna lie, this whole episode was a filler episode in an anime series. I just realized that.
It is
that
filler.
entire movie is a
What?
filler episode.
So was Rogue One.
to just put in the middle, like we gotta
I
put
need this,
something.
I
in.
need this to remember that scene. You remember?
Drank that green milk thing, whatever it was. Well, you remember in the the New Hope they had that weird colored milk too. Remember that?
Yeah.
Blue milk.
The blue milk, and this one is green this time.
I just love how he's like, yeah, that's right, I did it.
By the way, his TIE fighter's in the water, and he
His X-wing.
His X-wing's in
It's
the
in the
water.
water.
And they never kind of. I thought it was gonna be something cool with it.
I thought he was gonna use it.
Nope. He just. I thought. Literally, I was
Wait,
like,
did
he
we
uses
just freeze? What the fuck happened here?
Fuck. Are we moving?
It's still moving.
So I guess we're still going. There we go.
We're good.
I'll
we,
fix
we
that.
froze for 5 seconds.
I'll
people.
cut that out in post. But
But
anyway, back to
Dude,
what
like
we
like when he showed up and was talking to Leia, I'm like, oh, he used his wing. He's there. He's in the black
I
again.
didn't expect
was like,
force
yes,
projection.
Yes.
But it was an astral projection.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
get this.
and
And then
then,
when he looked at-
and then he pulls a Kenobi and fades away.
Then he
It's
looked
like,
at then he looked at freaking Kylo and was like, Kylo's like, what are you coming here to appease me? And he's like, nope. And I was like, oh shit, this is going down. Nope. Left me hollow inside. I tell you.
yeah, this movie really
Okay,
did.
see you around, kid.
No, you won't. You're dead.
You're dead.
No, and then when he went
he's
back,
a Force ghost now.
but then when he went back, I thought he was gonna be alive. I thought he was gonna be like, oh, okay.
Well, remember, you need training to see those too.
not anymore.
You need yeah, not anymore.
Here's the thing. Couldn't Luke's Force ghost go to Rey?
I still remember
Dude,
this.
you have to train in order to see them.
Dude, this
you have
movie,
to train to
This,
see
I've
them.
never seen a Star Wars
Yoda
movie
ha-
so loose with the Force
Yoda
before.
taught Kenobi how to see Qui-Gon. You have to teach it in order to use
I've
that.
never seen anyone this Star Wars movie so loose with the Force before.
Oh, it was.
Like,
That's how
there
bad
are
it was.
things that
Dude.
use the Force. I'm like, dude, what? I remember like that video I showed you that Hitler rant or whatever. Like he was like, I don't even know what the Force is anymore.
It's this
Well,
MacGuffin
well,
now.
He wasn't wrong. The Force is the energy of all living things.
Well, no, it's the way
That
they
was
use.
accurate.
It's not the Force itself. It's how they
it's
use
how it's
it.
used. It's like what?
It's like no, without any proper
It's
training,
just
without any mention of
manipulating the energy
training.
of everything.
Yeah,
How
but,
did he even know what planet she was on? How did Luke even know what planet to send it to?
Maybe when he reconnected with the Force, he felt her.
I mean, maybe, but that's all.
Oh yeah, those the
And
Force
that
books
just
showed
showed
up
you how
out of nowhere.
strong he was with the
I thought
Force.
Ray stole them personally. I thought Ray
he-
took them.
Why wouldn't he just? I think he should have just left and went there. God damn it, man.
Eh,
You robbed me. Like I can never look at that scene the same way.
wait for it. Wait for it. You might see a video of Seth and Sean on how the Last Jedi should have gone.
I mean,
I
no,
can do an entire video on how this should have went down. I thought somebody was walking the door. I could do an entire video on how this should have went down. But right now we're just doing our spoilers.
this is a spoilers discussion of it. It's
And
just
I know there's one scene Seth was really mad about.
Snoke dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that. That was stupid. Even Deshaun hated that.
I will say though, for the sound effects on the lightsabers were awesome. Like I love the sound effects on Kylo's lightsaber. It's just this crackling popping noise.
It's because it's a cracked crystal.
Yeah, it was just like that. It just sounds gnarly, dude.
But
he had to be different, so
uh,
they literally did that just so he can be different.
But here's the thing.
That's why I'm not all.
I was
like,
telling Seth.
It just sounded awesome, dude.
it sounded
I
awesome.
was telling Seth this. He doesn't think so. I want to know what you think though. Because
He thinks that Snoke did what Luke did as an astral projection when he got sliced.
and made it look like he got cut in half.
No, because that Ryan Johnson dude just seems too damn happy about
But
doing
he's
it.
also known for fucking with people.
But he seems way too happy about himself for
And
doing
also,
it.
when Luke when Kylo stabbed Luke with the saber, it was an astral projection. So why didn't it do that with him?
You know what? He's dead because the next movie, Kylo's gonna probably bring the knights with him, and then he's gonna be like, I'm big on top now, and he's gonna have his knights.
No, but see,
So yeah,
And
I
General
think
Ginger.
there's no
didn't
point of having him
do
around.
anything either.
There's no point of having him around anymore.
That's another thing. General Ginger. I don't even know his name. I'm just calling him General Ginger because he's got
Hux.
got red hair.
No, it's not Hux.
I remember people,
Hux.
a lot of people making fun. I'm like, dude, he's overacting like hard.
Dude, he was.
He was hard, dude. I'm like, dude, you are like tone it down a bit, man.
It's like I don't remember Tarkin being this like.
Am I the only one that laughed when Snoke brought him to the ground? Like,
That was he did it from another ship.
Yep.
but
like, damn, how powerful
here's the
are
thing.
you?
The reason
That's
I think,
possible.
The reason I think I'll accept if he's dead, obviously. But like the only reason I think that is because he was in the book of the movie it says he is stronger than Vader and Palpatine.
You know what? I think they're gonna do? I think he's dead. You know why? Because I think they're gonna do this thing where he thought he was reading Kylo's emotions, but Kylo was just powerful enough to lead, like not completely throw him off, but like change a detail.
That's the thing. He said Kylo figured it out. He's like, I just think your enemy. Don't think of who your enemy is. Just say
Kylo's
your
like, you're
enemy.
all my enemies. Which is why I say Kylo might be the most interesting character in the whole thing, because he came to the conclusion, all of you are my enemy.
Good old Ben Solo.
I don't care. All of you are my enemy.
Yeah. I did like though how he was like, you know what? Just screw everything.
Well,
All of
that's
it.
true.
The
Let's do it.
Empire, screw all.
Like,
It's
when-
me and you.
when
Burn
he-
this shit to the
Basically,
ground.
what he said is, it's time for the Jedi, the Sith, the Resistance, the First Order. It all needs
To
to
die.
go.
I liked that. I did. I actually liked that. But like I said,
Too bad he turned back to the mopey, emotional child of Kylo like minutes later.
Can I just say one thing I love that he said? I want every gun we have pointed on that man.
Hey, I will say
More!
General overacting. I can't remember his name anymore.
You think you
General-
got him?
Yeah, he's just like, I think you got him. Like, you think? Even though he just walks out like, yeah, because he's not really there.
I just
this
love
movie
it.
was a cock. This entire movie was a cock.
It was a cocktail. It was like walking to his front club mirror being like, want to go meet in the back? Nah, I'm just joking with you.
Pretty much what he said. But that's why,
It was
guys.
a filler episode.
You know what?
Goddamn.
That's why I dropped my score. Originally,
But-
I gave it a 7. Solid 7.
Awesome guard scene. Awesome.
That was a badass scene.
That-
I thought it
love
was the coolest, especially since when you go look at the behind the scenes of it. Apparently, it's all practical.
Granted, though,
Is it really?
It's all practical. I mean, obviously not lightsabers,
Are
but
you-
like
did
the
he
stick,
ca-
like
did he catch the
no,
stick?
it's all choreographed and like that's it's
Oh, he really caught it.
yeah. It's all choreographed. It's all like it's probably the most choreographed lightsaber battle.
See, that's the coolest thing is seeing a Jedi and a Sith fighting together.
I will
that was
say
sick.
I love the original trilogy, but those lightsaber battles weren't that great.
In the
No.
original- in the
the
original
prequels fixed that.
Prequels
problem.
had cool lightsaber battles, especially with Maul.
trilogy, Maul's was like,
Well, Maul, like Anakin versus Kenobi.
Oh, that's my
Anakin
favorite.
versus Kenobi.
Kenobi was the
That's
best
still my
choreographed
favorite
lightsaber
lightsaber battles. Anakin versus Kenobi.
Yoda versus Dooku.
There was so much emotion.
Yoda
no
versus
matter how
Dooku.
many problems I have with that whole trilogy, that last battle, the emotion, the temperature, quite literally,
This was lava planet.
the emotion, the skills, the two people battling, dude, man, it had it all, man.
See, I was telling Seth, I want Rey to have a saber staff because she's a staff fighter. It make more sense.
She seems like she's a lot niftier with that staff than she is with a saber. I'll tell you that much.
That's what I'm saying. If
So-
you give her a saber that's meant to be like a staff,
That's why I still find it hard to
Do they
believe
even
she was
still
able to
sell
kill one of the
they make
guards.
I would, do they even still have the crystals that she can go find? Like maybe she should get her own lightsaber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She could build one.
Where would she find the
Wait,
crystals?
does she have a lightsaber anymore?
Yeah, she has a lightsaber.
She still has Luke's.
Well,
That's another thing. They broke it.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, they broke it. Never mind. She
Yeah.
doesn't have a
Like,
lightsaber.
the Force struggle over it. It just went.
So let me guess. She's gonna have to go like half.
Where
of
is
the
she
plot-
gonna find the
half of
crystals to
plot-
get it?
Well, Luke's dead. So who's gonna tell her?
No, what
I guess the only thing the only thing they can do is that it's in the books. That's where it is.
No, what
It's
I,
gonna be in the books. No, the books tell you where they
what,
are.
what I'm expecting.
They shouldn't have killed Luke off.
Anyway, does anyone ever question that planet of islands he was on was Typhon? No one ever brings that up.
Oh shit! It might have been Typhon.
It might have been Typhon because that's the only place you can get Force crystals. One of the few places, one of the few places you can
Oh
get Force
shit!
crystals.
You're right.
So it might have been Typhon, but they never say.
It look like Typhon.
Because, well, it's the first Jedi temple, so I'm like, that has to be Typhon, but no one ever brings that up
shit,
either.
You're right. That is where it is.
And, oh, man. And they never bring up the Sith homeworld either, and so that...
What is that again?
Korriban. No, not Korriban. Yeah, no, it's Korriban.
I haven't
Korriban,
played
the desert...
I haven't played the Old Republic in God knows how long.
Well, the Old Republic is canon, so...
I don't understand. I haven't played the games.
But no, it's Korriban is the Sith homeworld, but at the same time... Anyway, point being, like I said, this movie doesn't explain anything either. I already said that, so...
Yeah.
What I think episode 9 is gonna be, I feel like it's maybe a time.
Wasn't this episode
You know
9?
what? I spent a lot on
No,
the
it's episode
counter.
8.
I'm gonna just rattle off a couple things I thought were really good. Other than the lightsaber battle, I thought there were actually some comedy beats that did work. I thought the scene where that blonde, purple-haired lady sacrificed herself and like the quiet just
That
blasting
added
the
to the
light.
scene so.
I was like, whoa! I remember,
Oh, yeah,
I remember
the,
looking at stuff like, what the hell just happened?
She
And then
light
you just-
speeded through
And then you
them.
just see all the ships go.
light. No, that was a light speed guillotine.
I
Pretty
was like,
much.
ah! Like, whoa!
Like, that was the most... Granted, as much shit as I gave this movie, that was the most creative thing I've ever seen.
It was
in this-
beautiful.
No, see,
it was
the biggest thing about
destructive.
it was creative in the sense of the silence. Like it added. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
much.
because, well,
expect
there's
that.
no sound in space.
So you just see,
No, it just vanishes.
yeah, and you just see all those ships just.
See, that's what I'm like. I don't know if she's dead or.
No, she's pretty sure she's dead. She ran through a ship. Even at light speed, you're fucked.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it blew up, if it was too fast to blow up. I don't know.
I'm pretty
Well, here's the thing, though. Even though you're moving at that speed, you're still there.
Still a solid object.
You're still a solid object. That's why it's like, yeah, either A, she has to be dead. Because, well, remember, they had no fuel, so wherever
Yeah.
she's going, she doesn't
She's
have any gas.
stuck out
to,
there.
She's
I was
stuck.
gonna say, that's what I'm saying. Like,
No
so
matter
either
what.
way, she's fucked.
I
So
hope
otherwise
she
she's
died
fucked.
instantly. Let's just hope.
Let's just hope she died instantly. But, I can't really think of anything
She might have
else.
a bunch of food on there.
There's one thing I thought that Seth might have a problem
Oh
with.
yeah, another thing I had a problem
Tracking
with.
through light speed.
Another thing I had a problem with is Poe, because he pretty much got a bunch of people killed, and they gave him a pat on the wrist for it, which is like
Slap on the wrist.
completely.
Permission to jump in her X-wing and blow some stuff up.
Which is completely asinine. I didn't like the way that was handled because it just felt. I'm like, no,
It was too soft of a
in
punishment.
real life, and I know it's not real life, but in legit,
You get court-martialed.
You're fucking. You're not.
You're going to
ain't
jail.
you ain't seeing a lick of light again after that. After you got people killed, like if he pulled it off and no one got killed, all right, you know what?
They
Hothead.
still would have been like hothead, but good job.
They
No,
just-
but he got people killed, and they just kind of went, he did. He
got
his
demoted.
thing. Like
He destroyed
what?
He destroyed a
You got
juggernaut.
demoted.
I was like, dude, he should have spent half this movie in the bridge, just like.
Put me in the brig.
I thought that's what was gonna happen, but I'm like, dude,
That's
they
the
just-
air vent, SpongeBob.
But no,
That
Princess
too.
Leia's like,
That's the
yeah,
airbend
let's
Poe.
sacrifice more people.
That's the air vent. We gotta make that a meme. That'd be fucking funny.
the air
You need to
vent
make
Poe.
that a meme.
I'll find a
You
way.
need to put Poe's head in the vent with with SpongeBob's head and arms going. Put me in the brig then for my crime. That's the air vent, Poe. No, and like Leia's over top. That's the air vent, Poe. No, put Leia's head on
Inside
Sandy's head
helmet.
and have her push the button. Sorry, I just got that thought.
I'll see
But
what I can do.
it's just if you can, fucking
I will
please.
send it to you.
That will be the thumbnail of this video. Put me in the brig.
I don't mind.
But what else? Oh yeah, no, the whole tracking through lightspeed thing was like, I don't know. To be honest, at first I didn't care about it, but then I don't know. That one to me wasn't as big as some of the other shit in the movie. But yeah, I guess it's just like, okay, why did they do that? I guess that's a new
All right,
thing now.
well, we've been
But
going for 30.
we've been going
so
for a while.
Let's wrap it.
I'm gonna give though my new score.
Oh boy.
I have hair in my mouth. Sorry. I gave this movie a 7. 7's a good movie, but when I let it soak and when I really thought about it, this movie just wasn't that good. It wasn't bad.
No, it was
It definitely-
fantastic.
It wasn't bad a
definitely
movie.
wasn't
Please
bad.
don't take this
Best
as a
Star
garbage
Wars
movie.
movie-
No.
Best Star Wars movie of all time.
Better than Phantom Menace, and technically.
But
the beginning half minute.
it gets a 5. It's an average movie.
Sacrilege.
Not even an 8.
5.
Sacrilege.
I enjoyed it.
What did Deshaun? Have you changed your score on it at all? Or
I am sticking with my actually I did lower because I gave it a 7.5. It's a 7.
I gave it an 8. I enjoyed it.
7.
all right, so way different scores all across the board here. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us on.
Come get movie.
And if you watched The Last Jedi and you had problems or good things about it, please list in the comments section below. We'd love to see your feedback.
Bring the hate if you need. Just bring it all.
I feel like episode 9 is a rough time skip.
Maybe.
Anyway, but
Jedi Master Ray.
anyway, so
Yes, that's the last thing we need.
so anyway, guys, thank you for joining us on.
Come get movie show.
And please remember, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of us in the future. And we shall see you.
On the
Goodbye.
Ga, 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 ga.